ultimately, Buffy was a metaphor for the horrors of high school, manifested into real horrors. And that's a very specific time in someone's life. And clearly not in high school anymore.
Don't we have horrors now?
We do have it. Absolutely. But is that a different show? Is that a different emotion? You know, also Buffy was a movie. And what they found in it was that it was very hard to, I love that movie, so I'm not knocking the movie, but a lot of people like to knock that movie. But I think the ultimate lesson that was learned from that was that it didn't work with a beginning, a middle, and an end all wrapped up neatly. Because ultimately that's what you want from a movie. Nobody wants to see a movie and then have a cliffhanger and be like, great, and in 3 years the next one's coming out. Like, that's not satisfying. And ultimately, Buffy worked the best because it was told over time, and what the lessons that were learned built upon those, and the stories built upon that. But I think what's been fabulous about it is the story can go on in graphic novels and, you know, fan fiction and books, and that's not to say that it wouldn't work. I just don't know that it would be satisfying. And while I'm not afraid of risks, I don't necessarily want to set myself up for what I automatically assume is not going to work and not make people happy. And I think that's something that really has to be considered. And also the show is so watched and it's still dissected and it's studied, and which means it's still giving people the pleasure that you get from that. And so isn't that the memory you want to leave people with? You don't, yes. So I think it's a hard, I think it's not as easy as would it be super fun to do it? Sure, you know. But I don't know if it's as easy as, you know, X-Files was ultimately a love story with the backdrop of the supernatural. That's an easier story told, and it worked both in television and in movies at the time. That was long-winded.
Although one could say Buffy was a love story with the supernatural. I mean, Angel Forever, right?
People give me a hard time when I say that. You can say that and people cheer you. I say that and I get booed.
Why?
Well, because then I leave Spike out. It's a whole thing.
How many people are Team Spike?
So
How many people are Team Angel?
Thank you. All right. I feel vindicated. All of you guys, do that out, please. Oh, Team Willow. I'll tell Allison she'll like that.
That's what's fanfic is for. Okay.